Hey guys, my name is B, and I'm sorry that my appearance isn't the best. I normally do not look like this. I'm very particular of how I look. I love fashion and dressing really nice. I'll post some pictures later, but I'm here to talk to you about. Let me get the name right. Vitrectomy or vitrectomy. The vitrectomy is a procedure that I had to get done because my left eye, I started to not see clearly. What happened was I would look at words, and I'm just giving you an example because it's also with objects too. But I would look at a word, and if I'm trying to read with just this one eye and I close this eye, I would only see the beginning and the ending of the word, and I wouldn't see any letters in the middle. That's a little weird, but that's what basically would happen. Or anything that I would look at an object, I would only see the middle I would only see the outer of the object. The inner would be pinched, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of what it is, and it's called a macular hole. That's the condition that I had to result in a vitrectomy. Okay, so I'm here to, by no means is this medical advice. I am not a doctor. I'm just a regular person that is sharing my experience on my prep and day one of my procedure. And when I went to go search to see, what was out there so that I can prepare, I realized that there wasn't many videos out there. So I'm here to just share in my experience. So please make sure you follow your doctor's advice. I'm just here to share my experience in that process in my vitrectomy. So for me to prep for this vitrectomy, because I have this macular hole, I needed to pick up my medication in advance. So I didn't want to wait till afterwards. So I picked up my medication in advance so I didn't have to do much running around. And as you can see, I am looking at you with my head down. The process of this recovery is you have to keep your head down 90% of the time. So you need to buy or try to put yourself in a position to succeed. So I didn't purchase. I leased a chair. Almost looks like a masseuse chair when you go to get a massage and you're sitting down in those chairs, you go to a mall. I leased one of those chairs that you can use to put your computer on, you can work on. And they have different parts that you can put on the kitchen table, that you can put on your bed. And you can use those things to help you succeed, to keep your head down. So you'll see my head down until we get to day 3 or 4 of this process. And I'll show you that chair and the pieces to the chair in a second. But right now I'm just talking about preparation. Also, find out who can get you there and who can pick you up in advance. Don't wait last minute because you're not going to be able to drive. It's hard to drive with one eye. And plus, when you get out of the anesthesia, which is very mild, for me it was, you're going to be a little loopy. They didn't put me all the way to sleep. I was awake where I still kind of saw certain things and heard certain things, but I wasn't completely under the anesthesia. But I didn't feel any pain. They put some drops in my left eye that really numbed it, completely numbed it. And then there was just a slight pressure from, I want to say a needle that he gave for like maybe 5 seconds. So that's all felt a little pressure, but it wasn't in mine. It was just like an aside. Outside of that, I didn't feel anything, no pain at all. So also in prep, think about ways that you can succeed in being face down. So you don't ever think about this because you never think that in recovery that you have to think about ways to be face down. So how can you sleep face down? How can you talk to people face down? How can you watch TV face down? How can you use the bathroom? Just walk around with your face down. Again, I'll show you the chair. So as I have, now we talked about the prep of the procedure. Let's talk about the actual day of the procedure and, what happened. So now you see I have this on my eye. I couldn't have anything to eat after 12 midnight. So make sure that if you do have something that's only water, but keep your water limited. Nothing to eat after midnight. They told me that that was very, very important. They asked a lot of questions. Make sure that you disclose to your physician any ongoing medications or apparatuses that you have. It's very important. There's nothing to hide because these things help you and it can save your life. So if you're an asthmatic and you have a nebulizer at home, disclose that. If you have high blood pressure or you have diabetes, disclose that. If you take gummies or if you vape, disclose it. This will just help them in that process. If you don't accept blood during your operations or during your procedures, disclose that. Disclose who you are. Disclose that. They have to respect that. It's very important that you meditate and you pray before your procedure. You need to make sure that you're in a good place spiritually. You need to make sure that you're connected and you're comfortable and that you have a clear mind going into this so that when you come out, you wake up, you feel better. Your body recovers better. Your body takes to any anesthesia and takes to these processes much easier when you go in mentally clear. Make sure you're connecting with your family and friends. Make sure they know what's going on. And make sure that you have the support in place so that you can get the encouragement, the prayers from them, so that you're not waiting to the last minute, and you don't feel like you're doing this alone. Okay? It helps with that clarity that you need. Connect with your spouse. If you have a spouse and if you are married, make sure that maybe the day before, connect with them. Hold their hand. Go to the movies. Go out to eat. Give yourself enough time. Be intimate. Do those things so that you connect, so that you can feel good and you can feel restored when you go into your procedure on that day. Everything, all of that really, really, really helps. What else? So, let me see. Make sure, this is important. When you come home, make sure that you set up. Make sure that you set yourself up to rest the first day. If you're anything like me, you want to work. You don't want to be in bed. You don't feel like laying down for a certain period of time. Force yourself to do it if you can't help it, like me. Like my kids and my husband had to tell me, go sit your butt down. So we go lay down. So I forced myself to just lay down, at least for the day before I start to jump in. I'm an entrepreneur. I have 3 different businesses. So I had to force myself. If you want to know about the businesses, just ask and I can tell you in the comments. But for the purpose of this video, it's not to promote my businesses. It's just to show support for people that are going through this process. And again, eating after your procedure. I recommend that you choose holistic foods. I would consider myself at this point a natural light. What is a natural light? It's a newer term that is now trending because, in my opinion, I feel that we are being poisoned. So I really pay attention to the ingredients in my food. I have for years, but it is catching on now, and a lot of more people are now realizing that the things that we are eating and that is banned in other countries are not healthy for us. So I've been doing this for a long time, but I have gotten a little bit more serious about it. So eat holistically. Pay attention to the ingredients that you're putting into your body. Cook with more herbs. Try to avoid preservatives. Drink more teas. So just be mindful of what you are putting into your body. By no means am I a vegan or a vegetarian or anything like that, but I do pay attention to, if I do eat eggs or if I do eat meat, that these things are not farmed and that these things are eating grass, or roaming freely and aren't abused. So paying attention to that stuff really, really helps. So, and also making sure that someone is home to help you when you need help, because you are adjusting to just walking around with one eye. So now, as we close, I want to show you some of the device that I use to help me to succeed. So this is something that I set up that came with the chair. As you can see, my computer is on it. I use that to watch TV for now, but it's this piece right here came with the chair, and you just kind of slide it into the bed, okay? Another piece, I don't know if you can see it because it's a little dark, but this piece right here actually also slides into the bed. And I can use it, I can adjust it to, so I can have my face down, to either go to sleep if I want to. If I wanted to read while I was in bed, I can do that while I'm laying down on my stomach. But this is to lay on your stomach. I don't sleep on my stomach, so this really won't work for me. So, and these are some other attachments. So I'm gonna go into the other room. I'm walking with my head down, and I'm gonna show you the actual chair. I left the chair in my office because I was intending to work while I'm recovering, but today's my first day, so I'm not working on purpose, okay? So this is the actual chair right here. See the chair? This is the place where I can put the computer if I want. This is my headrest. It's a little gap here so that if you wear glasses, I don't know if you can see it. Wait. If you wear glasses, you can, your glasses can fit there if you wear glasses, but you can put your head here. And everything else is where your knees and will go so that you can succeed in keeping your head down. Okay, I can't work in a traditional sense at this point, but just setting yourself up to succeed in advance would really, really help. The chair was not that expensive. In some cases, insurance might pay for it, so they might reimburse you. So you got to look into that. Everybody's insurance is different. So just do your due diligence. And as you prepare, and again, this is for prep and day one of the vitrectomy procedure. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please share your comments. I'll share my journey from day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 at minimum. And if I'm still going through this process after day 5, I'll continue to share. But please give me your comments, share what you're going through your process, and I can definitely share anything that I've gone through that I might have missed in this video. Okay, guys, you enjoy the rest of your day. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you.